Barakah, Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Mahakadesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders and the Akim, pushing the truth in all sincerity. Salutations to the hopeful elect and the confusion of faith, brothers and sisters that believe in this truth. Shalom. Just want to get into a discussion about Yahawashi not being soft. Christianity portrays the Messiah, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, to be a soft individual, a passive individual, a man that's all loving, a man that's meek, a man that's who's always willing to turn the other cheek. But that's truly not so. It's like it. That's truly not so. Yahawashi, the scriptures, explain that he's an austere man, which means he's more of a strict, harsh individual. I mean, he does have a balance. He did have a humble spirit as well, but he was also, a man that was serious. He meant what he said. And he was strict with the people. He said his piece, and he meant what he said. And he meant what he said. And he said it with authority. He wasn't just this meek, passive, non-offensive individual. He's very offensive in the way that he gave it to, because he gave it to you straightforward, and he didn't care about how you felt about it. He was harsh in his approach to many of the people, and a lot of people didn't like that about him. That's why 2/3 of our people still don't like him to this day, because his truth is it's hard. It's hard for people to understand that the Lord is not all loving, like they portray him to be, because they received the philosophy of Esau Edom that portrays the God to be, or Yahweh to be, all loving, in his son Yahawashi to be this all loving, peaceful individuals that they just want everybody to get along. But that's not the case, because the Lord said we have enemies, and we were sold into our enemies, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And they're to this day still in the possession of his people, the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Americans, and Latinos and Native Americans. They those are the people that they have in their possession, in this captivity this day, and I just want to get into the scriptures here, dealing with Yahawashi and his sternness, his seriousness, his hard, abrasive, coarse type of attitude, or in today's term, swagger, as you will, but he was a serious man, and the scriptures will explain that. Starting here in Luke 19:12, it reads, "He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, Occupy till I come. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him, saying, We will not have this man reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading." So it's really, dealing with his coming, that, to see if, the people that he gave the knowledge to actually put in the work to, help gather in his elect. I'm going to go more into it. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful, and in a very little hast thou authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, there is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. So the servant said, I held on to the money because thou art an austere man. I didn't want to take any chances of losing your money, because I know that, more than likely you're going to get upset and punish me. And this is Yahawashi's response. He's saying, and he saith unto him, Art thou own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant? So he called this servant a wicked servant because, he gave him money and he just held on to it. Thou knewest that I was an austere man. I'm a strict man. Taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into a bank? He's saying, well, since why just hold on to my money? Why you just ain't put it in the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? So he's saying, you could have made me a profit off of this if you just put it in the bank instead of holding on to it. Now I come back, and you showing yourself to be worthless because you ain't put in no work. You ain't do anything to, benefit and make me a profit. And he said unto him that stood by, Take from him the pound and give it into that hath 10 pounds. So he said, so take your pound and give it to the man that has 10 pounds, because he actually put in work. He actually, did me justice. He made me a profit. He actually benefited, from the pounds that I gave him. He made me 10 pounds more. And the second servant also benefited me. I gave him 5 pounds. He gave me 5 pounds more. And I only gave a pound, and you did nothing with it. You couldn't even make me another pound. Because you just held on to the work. The same thing with this knowledge. Much knowledge is given, much is expected. So the Lord, when He give you this truth, He expects you to share with your people. I mean, no matter how much you have, how much you may have, or how much little you may have, whatever little knowledge that you have, you should share amongst the people. I know some men has been in the truth for longer, so they're going to be more knowledgeable, so they're going to be able to share more. I myself, I'm only in the truth. I only been in the truth for about a year, little over a year and a month, 2 months, and whatnot. And I'm just trying to share the little knowledge that I have with the people, but I know I'm still learning. So it's important to try to share as much knowledge as you can, as the Lord gives to you. He expects you to also give to the other people, because we got to try to as a nation educate our people to help gather in the Lord's elect, so we can seal the elect and we can get up out of here. Reading on, and they said unto him, Lord, he have 10 pounds. For I say unto you that everyone which have be given, and from him that have not, even that he have shall be taken away. So the Lord, just as He give you this knowledge, He can also take it away. So don't ponder on it. Don't waste it. Try to grow in this truth. And share the word with the people. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So Yahawashi saying, those same people that said they didn't want me to reign over them, bring them to me and let me and put them to death, pretty much. Now, does this sound like a man that's just all loving and peaceful and meek and turn the other cheek and all forgiving? No. You know what I'm saying? He says that he's austere. You know? He's a man of his word. If he told you, you know, that something's going to be done, he's going to do it. He's going to live up to it. So let's just get into the definition of austere. You know? Austere, it reads severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance, you know? So that means Yahawashi was a strict and serious dude. He was severe in his attitude and appearance, you know? So you coming across him, if you came across him a certain way, he was going to show you that austere side of him, you know? Getting to the synonyms of austere, it reads severe, stern, strict, harsh. That means he was a harsh man, because he was harsh at sometimes, especially when dealing with the Pharisees and Sadducees and telling them, you know, about their wicked ways. Unfeeling, stony, steely, flintly, dour, grim, cold, frosty, frigid, icy, chilly, unemotional, unfriendly, formal, stiff, stuffy, reserved, remote, distant, aloft, forbidding, grave, solemn, serious, unsmiling, unsympathetic, unforgiving, uncharitable, hard, rigorous, stringent, you know. And he was a bad man, sounds like, unyield, unbending, unrelenting, inflexible, and not bad like bad individual, but you know what I mean. No, he was about his business, you know. He was very serious about what he had to do, the assignment that his father gave him, you know, to come here and, you know, be sacrificed for the sins of his people, to shed his blood for the nation of Israel, you know. And he was serious about his work, you know, because he was doing the will of his father. The works that he was doing was the will of his father. Those were his father's work. No nonsense, you see. He was serious. He was no nonsense, man. Hard-boiled, hard-nosed, solid, you know. So he was not to be, you know, reckoned with, you know. Because he was a serious man, hard, you know. No nonsense. He didn't take no shit from nobody. Let's get into Luke 13:31. The same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying unto him, Get thee out and depart hence, for the Herod will kill thee. And he said unto them, Go ye and tell that fox, Behold, I cast out devils, I do cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. You know, so he telling the, you know, these Pharisees who rolling up on him, that's telling him, hey, you know, Herod looking for you, and when he find you, he could kill you. So he's saying, so Yahawashi is like, so, you know what I'm saying? So what, he looking for me, and what? You know what I'm saying? Go tell, he says, go tell that fox, I'm still doing my father's work, you know? And when I'm done doing what I got to do, you know, then he can come see me. I can give myself up to him, because that's what I have to do to be sacrificed for my people. But other words, he was just saying, he called him out of his name, pretty much, you know? Does that sound like a man that's fearful or meek or passive? No, because you coming at a man telling him another man threatening him, but him like, yo, you don't know who I am? You don't know who my father is? You got it. You bugged out of your mind right now. You got it twisted right now, you know. So I mean, him calling the fox, you know, today would be no different from, you know, Jake calling another dude bitch nigga, some type of, you know, sucker nigga. You know what I'm saying? That type of term, you know, showing that, you know, there's no fear. If somebody came up to you and say, yo, so-and-so looking for you, you're like, get the fuck out of here, man. Go tell a nigga, you know, beat it, man. I ain't scared of him. You know, and that's Yahweh's attitude when they came up to him, telling him that Herod was looking for him, that he wasn't afraid of him. Like, yo, go tell that nigga, like, you know, he can kick rocks because I'm here to do my father's will. And when I get done doing what I'm doing, you know, it'll be complete, you know. But until that time, I'm gonna continue doing what I do with no fear. You know. Going to let's get into Mark 12:1. And he began to speak unto them by parables. A certain man planted a vineyard and set a hedge about it, and digged a place for the wine fat, and built a tower, and let it out. And the husbandman and went into the far country. And at this season he sent to the husbandman a servant, he might receive from the husbandman and the fruit of a vineyard. And they caught him and beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent unto another servant, and at him they cast stones and wounded him in the head, and sent him away shameful handed. And sent him away shameful handedly. This is referring to the Lord sending prophets to the people, and them rebuking the prophets because they were disobedient, stiff-necked individuals. Our people, man. Jake, they didn't want to hear the truth. They just wanted to be rebellious to the Lord, man. And the Lord was sending them men to give them correction, but they wasn't trying to hear it. They wanted to put these prophets to death. Reading on Mark 12:5. And again he sent another, and him they killed, and many others, beating some and killing some. Because many of our people, they killed the prophets, man. They were wicked individuals, man. They didn't want to hear this word. They didn't want to hear this truth. They didn't want to hear what they had to say. They just wanted to do their own will, man. Reading on, having yet therefore one son, his well beloved, he sent him also last unto them, saying, I will reverence my son. So now he's saying, I'm sending Yahawashi to the people. And this is what the people do. But those husbandmen said among themselves, this is the heir cometh, let us kill him, and the inheritance shall be ours. Our people, they wanted the Messiah, Yahawashi, dead, man. That's 2/3 into this day. They don't want to receive this truth for what it is. They believe in plantation Christianity. They think that what we say is false. But the scriptures don't lie. This is the truth, but they can't understand it. Because the Lord has not given them the proper understanding. They got them falling after false prophets in the Christian doctrine. And they took him and killed him and cast him out in the vineyard. What shall therefore the Lord of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the husbandman, and will give the vineyard unto others. And have ye not read the scripture? The stone which the builders rejected his the stone which the builders rejected is become the head of the cornerstone. Them rejecting Yahawashi. Yahawashi is the cornerstone, but the people reject him. This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And they sought to lay hold on him, but feared the people, for they knew that he had spoken a parable against them. And they left him and went their way. He spoke a parable against the wicked Pharisees, man, because they wanted him dead. He's like, y'all reject me, y'all gonna be put to death anyway, because y'all wicked. And they sent unto him certain of the Pharisees and of the Herodians to catch him in his words. You see, they were trying to trip him up in his words, so they came up on him, trying to help make him stumble. Right? So, it's like Mark 12:14. And when they were come, they say unto him, Master, we know that thou art true and cares not for man. He wasn't trying to deal with Caesar in his leadership, but he knew that he had to fulfill his Father's will. So reading on, for thou regardest not the person of men, but teaches the way of God. Yeah, he only teaching the will of his Father in truth, and is lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not. So they asking him, man, we know you only all about serving God, but what about serving Caesar? Is it also to give tribute to Caesar or just tribute to God? So and it reads, shall we give or shall we not give? But knowing their hypocrisy, and he said unto them, why tempt ye me? Bring me a penny that I might see it. So that they was trying to get him caught up and to try to get him to go against Caesar, because he was came to do his Father's will. He's like, yo, I only serve God. I don't serve any other man but God, and I don't serve no man that's in rule, which was Caesar, at this time. And he's saying that, why not, we know that you only honor the Lord, but, being that Caesar's our ruler, should we, pay tithes to be paid, our taxes unto Caesar, being that, we shouldn't be under no man's rule. He's saying, but he knew that they was trying to get him caught up. That's why they asked him, should we, pay this man? And that's why he asked him to see the money. And he said, why ye tempt me? Bring me a penny that I may see it, And it reads, and they brought it. And he said unto them, who is this image on the subscription? And they said unto him, Caesar's. And Yahawashi answering said unto them, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God. And they marveled at him. See, they were trying to get him caught up. But Yahawashi said, yo, if this money has Caesar's face on it, then give it to him. That means it belongs to Caesar, man. So don't come at me with no bullshit trying to get me caught up. And who I'm out here doing the work of my Father, but you worrying about, trying to get me caught up so you can get me put to death. But he was going to be put to death, but not on their timing, man, because they just wanted him dead right then and there. They was trying to get rid of him, before his will could be done. But that's not the way it was written. The Lord's will is going to be done, not the way they wanted to be done, but that way according to how the Lord had it in place. From that, let's get into Matthew 23 and 29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witness unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up the measures of your fathers. So this, going into reincarnation, man, that these same people, though they say that they wouldn't have killed the prophets, during that time, but Yahawashi said, ye are those same people that, you are the children of the prophets, which killed the prophets, But they were saying that, we wouldn't kill the prophets. We wouldn't be like our fathers, But you are the children of those fathers. You've been reincarnated. You are those same wicked individuals. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? So this shows you more that Yahawashi wasn't, a passive individual. He was very stern in his approach when dealing with, the wicked Pharisees, man. He was straight up with them. He told them, about their wickedness, and a passive individual, he's not going to be, straightforward with people. He's not going to say anything offensive to people, but he was very offensive, and he didn't give a damn how they felt at the end of the day, because, he was telling them about themselves and their wickedness, and ain't nothing they could do about it. So that just shows you he was a fearless man, he was strict, and stern and abrasive in his approach, and he didn't care how you took it, just like the men of GMS, Great Millstone, they the same way. They don't care how you take it, man, they'll give it to you straightforward, and if you take offense to it, oh well, they're gonna give it to you how the Lord gave it unto them, because they're just speaking the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi through the Spirit, Reading on into Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom, but he that doeth the will of the Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? In thy name has cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And I will say, and then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. Now, the Lord saying, many people are going to come to me saying, Lord, Lord, we did works in your name, are we going to be saved? He's saying, no, man, ye workers of iniquity, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a harsh individual, man. So these people trying to explain their, this, their works to him, and he's telling him, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. Get out of here. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear that right now. You a worker of iniquity, man. So that sounds like a man that's stern, that's strict, that's austere. The scriptures are showing this to you, that this man was a man that was serious, that he was about his business, and Christianity, portrays him. Esau Edom portrayed him to be just an all-loving individual, but as you can see, he wasn't. He was straightforward. He told the people what it was, and he didn't give a damn about how they felt. Reading on, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, will I liken unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it is founded upon a rock, founded on this truth, man. And everyone that heardeth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. Yeah, those that don't follow after this truth, those who don't follow this word, they're gonna be foolish. And the rain descended, and the floods come, and the winds blew and beat upon it, that the house, if it fell, and great was the fall of it. Yeah, great is going to be the fall of the wicked 2/3 individuals that don't follow and believe in Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi. And it came to pass that when Yahawashi had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribe. You see, he taught, sternly, man. He was straightforward with his approach. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He told it how it was, and he didn't care if you liked it or not. He didn't care if you took offense to it, man, because he was here to get his point across, and he spoke the truth and the whole truth to the people, man. And he didn't care how you felt about it, if you got your feelings hurt or what, So, moving on. It reads Proverbs. You know what? Before I get that, let me get these already. Let me get this. John 2:13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahawashi went up to Jerusalem, and he found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changes of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise. And his disciples remembered that it was written that the zeal of the house had eaten him up. Yeah, see, Yahawashi, he wasn't playing no games, man. That just shows you that he was, a man of his word. He was strict, he was harsh, he was stern, he was abrasive, he was serious, he was hard. He came down hard on the people. He bust their ass for trying to make profit, and turn his father's house to the house of merchandise, and that's how he was, man. If he was going off, he came into you, and if you felt disrespected or you was disrespecting him and his father, he was gonna let you feel his wrath. This man actually made a whip. Yahawashi actually made a whip and whipped their ass, for going off, man. So imagine, he was here at this time as a lamb, man. So imagine what happens when he come back, as a lion, man. He coming back for vengeance, man. He gonna be putting many people to death, man. It's gonna be a mass killing when he come back, man. 2/3 of our people all gonna get it, They're gonna really have a harsh, death, and it's coming, they refuse to repent, but the Lord gonna put them to death, surely, This is the image, of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, that they gave into us, the Cesare Borgia, this homosexual individual, man, that they passing off to be, the Messiah, this is a representation, of the white supremacy, man, and oppression over the, the people of Israel, the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroes, man. That, this man is, he's just a devil, This is their deity, who they call Jesus Christ. When you think of Jesus Christ, this is the image that you think of, when you think of the name Jesus Christ, because it's been embedded in you, in the mind of mostly everyone in the world, because the whole world knows this image of Jesus Christ, which is Cesare Borgia, the homosexual, but this the scripture says that Satan should deceive the whole world, and which is Esau Edom, the seed of Satan, which they have deceived the whole world with this image, because when you think of the name Jesus Christ, this is the image that you think of, the so-called white man with a white, white skin, so-called white skin, which is red, the scriptures tell us, and brown hair, which, the scriptures say he has white hair, you know what I'm saying, and hair like wool, which is, this is long, stringy hair, which is not the case. It says Yahawashi is a so-called black man. This is the true image right here, man. Or the image that's most, closest to the representation of, Revelations 1 and, Revelations 1, starting at 1 and 14, This is the, the more accurate image of our Messiah. This is when you hear the name Yahawashi, this is the man you think of, This image right here. This is a representation to the nation of Israel of our true Messiah, who's going to come and, redeem the remnant of his people, of his elect, because 2/3 of his people he going to put to death, and 1/3 he's going to, bring into the kingdom of heaven, his elect that received his truth. Getting into the Proverbs 8:32, where it reads, Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keepeth my ways. Blessed are they that keepeth the ways of Yahawashi, Yahawashi, walking in his truth. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Yeah, refuse not his instruction. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. Yeah, blessed is the man that wait at the gates daily. That seek after the truth daily. That go out and preaching to the people on the highways and byways. That look and listen for these videos. From sun up to sundown. That are hearkening to the words of his prophets. The men that he has set up to raise up the nation of Israel. To gather in his elect. Really knowing for whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor from Yahweh. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that hate me love death. Yeah, you hate Yahawashi, you love death. You hate Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, you love death, because you're against him. You're his. He consider you, the Father and the Son consider you to be their enemy. If you're not following after, or you receiving the truth, if you continue in the ways of this world, you're an enemy unto him. If you're following after the false plantation Christianity, and think the Lord is all loving, and that he's just a meek individual that is had this turn the other cheek attitude, and that he just is all loving, and you just want to have peace. You're fooled. You've been fooled by the devil himself, or deceived by the devil himself. Which devil means to be deceived. The devil himself is Esau Edom, that the Bible speaks of. This wicked bastard. Man did the work on Jake. In Psalms 2:12, it reads, Kiss the son, lest he be angry. Does that sound like a man that's just passive? He said, kiss the son, unless he be angry. The Lord, Yahawashi, is going to be angry with you, if you're not following after him. If you're not keeping his word. And kissing the son by, believing in his truth, and receiving it for what it is, and hearkening to the men that he has set in place to deliver you this truth. And ye perish from Slakia, and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Yeah, blessed are the men. Blessed are all of, his people that put his trust in him. You're going to be blessed because you're trusting Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi. And you're going to receive salvation for believing in the truth and following after his ways, and not following after the ways, of the heathen, and of your oppressor, Esau Edom, envy not the way of your oppressor, man. It's one of my favorite scriptures, because we're not supposed to envy after him. We're not supposed to follow after his way. We're supposed to be seeking after the Lord, daily, hearing his word, getting our daily bread, Because these scriptures, they're our life. They're our lifeline, man. These are the words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, man. And this is what we should be seeking after. But yeah, man. I just want to say that, the Yahawashi, man, he was an austere man. And here's the definition again. Severe, strict manner, attitude, and appearance, man. He was no joke. He was straightforward, and he meant everything he says, and he don't care how you felt about it, So so-called Christianity, they got it backwards on, how they, our Messiah was, maybe so-called white Jesus Christ, what they presented to you, with the, with all the shenanigans and bullshit lies they presented to you, but not the truth, not the true Messiah, Yahawashi. He was a straightforward, abrasive individual, and he brought it to them, and he talked and he talked slick to them, He said what he had to say, and he didn't care how they, received it, And that's just the way he was. There's one more scripture that I wanted to get. Matthew 26. No, is this it? Yeah, this is it. It's telling him, yes, Matthew 26 and 50. And Yahawashi said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahawashi and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahawashi struck out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahawashi unto him, Put up again thy sword unto his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Thinkest thou that I can now pray to my Father and he shall say, Presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? I'm going to read that one more time. Like it. Matthew 26 and 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot pray to my Father, and he shall say, Presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? So Yahawashi is saying, to his men, like, hey, put away that sword, man. That you think if I don't want them to take me, that I can just pray to my Father and have him send angels down so we can just, smite these men. If I wanted to, I can just call on my Father and he'll send an army of angels down. We can put these niggas to death right here, and we can, take over and rule over all these nations right here and now. But that's not how the Lord had it, set up. The Lord had it set up so he, for him to die and shed his blood for the nation of Israel. So it was his time to be taken in, by the Roman soldiers, so he can be sacrificed and he can be, slain as a lamb to shed his blood for his people, because Yahawashi was only for his people, reading on. But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that it must be? Yeah, so how can the scriptures be fulfilled if I don't give my life for my people? Because even when he was here, Yahawashi told his people that he was only come for the lost sheep of Israel. Matthew 15 and 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yeah, Yahawashi was only sent here for Israel, man. And he was only sent here to die for the sins of the nation of Israel. In Matthew 1 and 21, it reads, And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahawashi,